Alright, reviewing another clip here. Let's take a look.
We're gonna need to have you to cover back up.
So we're starting 10 squads left, 2 minutes till circle number 2,
Can you hear me, George?
near artillery. Whoa. There we go.
Yeah.
Yep. So going to the high ground to cover the exit to the little fall there.
Wait up.
Yeah, oh okay. Before the clip they realized they were up here. That wasn't clear from the information available to me, but... So one down. Now also remember, this is played on console, PS4 I believe, specifically. So you can see here there is some aim tracking, auto aim tracking.
Okay, that's 2 down.
Especially at close range with relatively slow moving opponents that aren't juking a lot. The auto tracking is quite powerful.
Oh my goodness. Help. Okay, that's everybody.
So let's review this fight again really quick. They start up here, they realize that the enemies are up top. They start climbing up.
I fell off. Wait up.
The guys up top should be able to hear this, but obviously didn't. Maybe they did. They were in the right quadrant.
Careful.
The guy with the triple take is friendly to the player, is on the same squad behind, it looks like.
Okay, that's 2 down.
Actually, alright, I'm gonna go back here really for quick here. Right here. I sometimes leave the hemlock and burst fire, especially, but
Okay, that's 2
I feel it's often most effective on single fire. Getting the high ground, starting with the headshot. Goes around the corner.
Oh my goodness. Help. Okay, that's everybody.
I don't have that much to say about this fight. You know, two of the squad reviewing got to the high ground, the other was viewing from afar with a looks like unchoked triple take, but still, maybe it might have been choked.
Purple shield here.
I didn't hear it choking up.
No, that was like a Call of Duty mission where there's like a sniper behind you.
Should get
That felt like a
the
Call of Duty.
teammate up first before looting, honestly. If you expect squads to be potentially incoming, and you should always expect a squad to be coming.
Purple shield.
He should have switched to the shield in order to instantly heal it without spending his supplies. The golden shield isn't really much better. The only difference between gold and purple shield is that if you slow finish somebody who's downed, it heals itself, but that's very unusual to be able to pull off in a fight.
Visual threat, but for a sniper.
He mentions the Digislap for sniper, but it doesn't actually mention its most powerful property is not that it highlights the enemy, it's that it automatically does the range finding for you. So you don't have to, aim over your opponent and try to figure out how far they are and how much bullet drop you'll have. It figures that out pretty much for you. They already checked all these 3 bodies multiple times, so it's a little slow. But they're not going to punish for it, it's okay. And again, it's harder to loot quickly on console. Yeah, they're checking all these bodies like 4 times, so this is not good.
Alright, let's move.
Yeah. You want to make your cooldowns work for you. Instead of waiting for the exact perfect time to ult, you want to use it so that it comes up again. So he could have placed the portal earlier, come back and checked all the bodies, for example. Also, just going back here again, although I made a similar critique previously, you want to insert slides, especially across the tops of objects. So like here, you'd want to jump, slide while you're in the air, and have your butt hit this ledge, and then you'll get an acceleration, instead of just jumping over it naturally, like that.
I have 7.
No point in checking the supply bin, it just makes noise here. You do not need whatever you're going to find. Like we saw his inventory earlier. He checked 3 bodies that had tons of late game loot and took almost no items from them. And yes, his hemlock is only blued out, not purpled out, but you don't need it to be purpled out, really, especially when you have a fully purpled out R99, and the potential information you're giving away is just so much. If there's a team, say, on top of the one of the warehouses and artillery, or yeah, it turns out there's no one here, and that's not that surprising because they would have probably pushed the sound of fighting earlier through the tunnel, or been more prepared to gank immediately if anyone came out of the tunnel. But I do think opening that supply bin's a mistake.
The care package is really close anyway. Oh, there's a man-made zipline. They're probably waiting for the care package. We should move in.
I don't think that this layup, that the setup of the zipline is...
Oh, behind me.
It might be for the care package. I don't think it is.
There's a care package. Careful. Back off.
Again, like, I think it was wrong to check this care package. What are you looking to get here? I mean, yeah, blue helmet into golden helmet is better, but he picked up like his 3rd Phoenix kit and his like 9th or 10th shield battery. Not necessary. I think it opened up his team to risk here. He came from behind them because they didn't expect him to be on that side, and they weren't. And the player who got down first did not call out the direction that the Wraith went in. But checking that package is a mistake. Just leave it there as bait, because that blue pillar, you know, that announces its presence will still be... Okay, fine. He didn't have as many batteries as I thought, actually. Here, we'll go back here. I think he should drop his a stack of heavy for shield batteries, unless his teammates need it. Similarly, I think he should drop a stack of something for more grenades.
Golden helmet.
And he should be crouching here.
That's an enemy care package, I'm pretty sure.
To reduce his profile while looting.
Energy care package over there.
He shouldn't be in this body. There's just no reason. Okay, heavy mag is nice. That is worth it, but like you just want to scroll down towards that section. What else is he going to want from it? You know, instead of looking at every item, think proactively about what you're going to need and check that part of the body of the list. Scroll to it immediately. And these are, you know, in this case, fairly minor consideration. Yeah, he should already know what he's got here. And at this point in the game, you know, they've looted multiple bodies that have blue attachments or switched out blue for purple. So he should assume that his teammates don't really need that. It's not worth pinging at this stage. It's not even worth checking. He should be portaling here. Then you can slide jump off of this section, make it all the way across. If we back up a little here. Right here. He should realize, you know, no point checking this stuff, but here, start portal, run. That way, at this point here, up at the top. Well, maybe you would have had to have been a little further. He would have had to start the portal slightly later, but here he could make this running jump to all the way to over here, and then run and naturally jump up this part and just gain a bunch of distance. He was saying, yeah, if only I was Pathfinder, but you know, if only you were Wraith, right? You got your portal here. Again, minor critiques. I mean, they're doing fine, but these would be improvements, I think. Open supply bin, that doesn't mean anything. Should crouch into the bush when you're checking at a distance like that, I think, just to reduce your profile, especially when you have a bush to help partially hide yourself, as opposed to being in the open where it makes you slower and worse at kiting around potential harassment. Yep, he saw a head in there. Again, here, I want a portal from here to around the corner, say, something like that, so that you can play games with their sense of the position of the squad. I think it absolutely should have reloaded the R99 there instead of swapping weapons, because there were two lined up there, so and there was a box. There's no way he's going to finish it, yeah, because he didn't have enough damage to start. That's 48 damage on that one guy and then 10 onto the second guy, so you're not going to finish with the Hemlock here. And again, that kick up from the burst fire while trying to shoot at the guy, the Bloodhound here, I think it is. He doesn't compensate for the kick, and you should just be in single fire mode. You can have better control.
One's dead.
You should pop battery. I disagree with popping shield.
Yeah, one's down.
Now
he's dead.
You want to have your battery as your default set healing item if you have one, almost always.
Inside the window? Okay.
Kick. And then don't kick it a second time because they're going to be ready to shoot you. Okay.
Okay, that's two down. Okay, that's everybody down.
So you're in a compound here that does make you nade vulnerable, and with the map this small, you have to assume that people know where you are. Just switch to the shield. Just switch to the shield. You don't need gold. You know, you don't need to look pretty.
Yeah, I know, but we gotta
You need to just quickly full heal.
be quick about this.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a...
There's no point checking these bodies. What are you looking to get? What are you looking to find?
Digital threat.
Like, even a Kraber or a Mastiff isn't much of an improvement. Take the shield batteries, as long as you're checking the body anyways, take the battery, but...
Damage. Yeah, we should leave them out.
Yeah. The small looting arrows. He should have portaled first, because then when you're portaling the Wraith form activation, it gives you a speed boost, in addition to making you immune to damage from the ring. So, another small improvement that was possible there. He needs to slide and start a, yeah. He could slide and start a swinge there, even if he wasn't going to quite make it. He could have made another like 15, 30 to 30 feet or so, I think. He didn't need to here, the ring was available, but... Going through the bush is good.
Go back to artillery. Look.
Yeah.
The game's gonna end in the same wall that the artillery.
So he calls to go to the ring and artillery, and I totally think that's correct.
I'll make a portal.
There are still 3 squads besides their own squad remaining, and 10 players. So their squad's full. That means there are 7 players left among the remaining 3 squads, which means 1 or 2 of the squads left are damaged, meaning missing a player. Either one squad is a solo, or 2 squads have only 2 people.
Okay, there's one dead.
This lifeline's very low, he should call it.
I'm going through the portal though. Cover me. He's reviving. He's reviving his teammates, so cover me. Come on. I'm right here.
No, it's incorrect to go for the revive here. This is bad. With the lifeline that low, and with the sensible knowledge that squads are damaged, although they might not have realized that, they,
No style, climb out.
she should have just killed the lifeline, and probably would have wiped them. He should start the Phoenix already. This is too slow.
Go to the portal, no style. Oh, he's about to die.
Yeah. If they had... If he had, instead of called for res, if he had encouraged his teammate to push instead of sitting back with triple take and then cover his retreat, he should have... it probably would have killed the squad. I bet it was a 2-man squad. And then they would have had control over the area to lift up the Bloodhound without having to actually revive him. They can still revive him in artillery, though. But no portal to bring him back to the body quickly. So you can see how this could go badly. Yeah, so the other team has had enough time to heal up. I assume they're a 2-man squad. They might not be. That choke, the sound of the choke was from the triple take player. You really, at that range especially, you really should not be in burst mode. Incorrect.
Yeah, I have it. I want to oh, there's one person sniping up there.
Yeah. Other way around, actually. His own teammate was trying to snipe them. The Bloodhound, you should call that. It is a Bloodhound.
I don't really have much of a choice.
You always want to call which type of character you see where, and when you're calling information about somebody. That way, if somebody sees a player, they can tell whether it was the one you were talking about or not. So like Lifeline low as opposed to one of them low, or Bloodhound on top of the roof instead of one on the roof. You know, that way if someone sees a second Bloodhound somewhere else, they say, oh, another squad's here, you know, that kind of thing. So he's split from his teammate here.
I'm gonna do a risky play.
This res is risky for sure. It looks like it's gonna work. But I don't like that he's split from his squad mate when there's, you know, and this portal is a little weird. Yeah, I'm not sure what the purpose of the portal is. So this is a full squad, it looks like, unless that was a clone of Mirage. I think that's a full squad.
Careful. Oh my god, this is all going to shit, dude.
Single fire, please.
I'll keep that in mind.
Crouch when you're checking that peak. That's his own teammate you heard.
No style, no style, no style.
Yep, good to share healing. He can drop some other stuff. Should drop a battery too. Oh, he doesn't even have armor, so there's no point dropping battery. You should ping the death box that was in the storm there though, because that's not a death box. That was a shadow. You want to always, when you're checking this angle, first check the top of the ridge. Make sure there's no one on the high ground. Okay, one behind. So maybe that footstep you heard was actually an enemy footstep when it seemed like it was the Bloodhound.
I can't do much, dude. I literally don't have much of anything.
I really feel like not having single fire set up on the Hemlock might bite him here. You just don't want to be on top of it. Yeah, that's why. You don't want to be on top of this while healing. You want to be just slightly behind on the inclined surface.
I took one down.
It is usually worth thirsting in this type of situation to deny information to the other squad, because the guy who's down can still call out.
Hold up, dude. Give me a second.
You know, like right now, they're gonna, that guy, that Mirage, can probably hear the shielding, can probably hear the revive, maybe calling it to his teammates. So they might get ganked here.
Which one? Where?
Okay, very
one
nice.
squad dead.
That, I'm not sure if that guy was a solo or not.
Okay.
Yep, so Lifeline reviving was called, although he didn't call exactly where. Got a little stuck there, that's awkward, but close the door, yep. Phoenix. Oh, that's not good.
Dead. I am dead.
Yeah, so now they know his location because you're good at damage pop up on your screen. When your nade damages someone. Crouch. Yep.
There's a Phoenix kit.
Good, good, good.
I'm on my own, dude. There's no respawn shit left.
There's one to his right. Two squads fighting. So in this situation, you want to, yeah, you want to wait for the other squads to start fighting and then third party. When you're alone like this. Ooh, that's not good. So here at the close range, you know, the burst fire helps, or it works, but you don't really have lower DPS, I don't think, with a single fire. He should drop a stack of, well, he only has 117, but his teammate needs a light.
There's two of them in here.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one left.
There's still an unaccounted for squad.
Oh, they're reviving.
Popping this battery first is good. Nice. One squad left.
Come on.
No, don't syringe. No. Okay, fine. I was thinking it's better to peek and try to support the teammate.
Oh, they're on top.
Ooh. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought he meant on top of the outer artillery wall, but that's not true.
I'm out. Cover that spot, please. Oh no, the circle.
He's gonna go down to circle here. He got caught on the box. Okay, no, it just flushed him into the open. And he's only has 4 light ammo left. So even if he hadn't gone down there, he would be in an awkward spot.
Behind you! Behind you!
Turn.
Behind you. He's right there. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no, can I get there? Oh, they're reviving and stuff right there.
That was a clone. Gives away the Mirage's actual. Ooh. Yeah, so he never dropped light, but he ran out of his for his teammate who called for help. But he also ran out of his own light ammo, so that's not really a problem. That was a fun fight. Intense 4 squads in this very small area. GG.